Greetings students, in this session of the electrician trade, you will be taught how to test, analyze defects and repair voltage stabilizer, emergency lights and UPS.
You will be able to use it at the end of this exercise. Analyze the defect of the voltage stabilizer. Repair and rectify the voltage. Stabilizer based on the defects. Identify the defects in emergency light. Rectify the defects by repairing the emergency light. Analyze the fault in the UPS. Rectify the fault by repairing the UPS. Let us take a look at the tools and instruments required for testing, analyzing defects and repairing voltage stabilizer, emergency light and UPS. Tools or instruments. Trainee's toolkit, 1 set. Connector screwdriver set, 1 set. Line or neon tester, 500 volt, 1. Soldering iron, 35 watt by 250 volt, 1. Desoldering gun, 1. Multimeter, analog or digital, 1. Clamp on meter, 1. Equipment. Common UPS 625 VA by 12 volt, 1. Sealed lead acid battery with operation manual, maintenance free battery, 12 volt by 120 ampere hour, 1. CRO 20 MHz by dual trace, 1. Assembled circuit of voltage stabilizer to be checked. Assembled circuit of emergency light to be checked. Assembled circuit of online UPS to be checked. Materials or components. Spare components as required. Solder 60 by 40 as required. Soldering flux as required. Connecting wires as required. Let us take a look at the preparations for testing, analyzing defects and repairing voltage stabilizer, emergency light and UPS. In this exercise, our first task is to analyze the fault and repair of voltage stabilizer with the help of a service flow sequence, SFS. Collect all relevant information about the voltage stabilizer, such as its make, model and specifications. Also gather any available documentation and troubleshooting guides. Start by performing some initial checks to identify obvious issues. Conduct a thorough visual inspection of the voltage stabilizer. Look for any signs of physical damage, loose connections or burnt components. Check for bulging or leaking capacitors, broken wires or damaged PCB traces. If any issues are found, they may need to be addressed during the repair process. Check the circuit carefully for any short circuit in the components or parts in the stabilizer. Connect the AC main supply cable of the stabilizer unit into the ohm meter and check the resistance by switch on the circuit. If it shows 0 resistance, it indicates a dead short. Verify that the input voltage is within the stabilizer's specified range. Check for any open circuit visually or by ohm meter after testing for a short circuit. If the meter shows infinity, that is open circuit. Based on the symptoms observed during the testing, identify the potential fault areas. If it is a healthy circuit, it will show some resistance reading. Analyze the status of the circuit by the meter's reading. If the stabilizer is without short circuit fault, connect it to the supply mains and switch on. Based on the symptoms observed during the testing, identify the potential fault areas. Refer to the troubleshooting guide for common issues associated with the stabilizer. Some common faults in voltage stabilizers include faulty voltage regulators, defective capacitors, open or short circuits, or overheating components. Check the symptoms of the unit and record the symptoms. Analyze the fault with the help of the service flow sequence. To further isolate the fault, perform component level testing. This involves checking individual components for proper functioning. Use appropriate testing tools such as multimeter to measure resistance, capacitance, and continuity. Test key components like voltage regulators, transformers, diodes, and capacitors. Replace any faulty components found during testing. Our next task is to repair and maintain the emergency light with the help of troubleshooting sequence block. Before starting any repair work, make sure you have the required tools. Ensure that the emergency light is disconnected from the power source to avoid any electrical shocks. If it has a battery, remove it as well. Check the emergency light for any visible physical damage, loose connections, or burnt components. Look for broken wires, loose screws, or any signs of overheating. Plug the emergency light into a power outlet and reconnect the battery. Verify if there is power reaching the light by checking if the indicator light turns on. If there is no power, check the power source itself, outlet or battery for any issues. Replace any faulty or burnt out bulbs with new ones. Make sure the bulbs are compatible with the emergency light. Examine the wiring for any loose or disconnected connections. Check if the wires are frayed or damaged. Check the circuit carefully before connecting the supply for any short circuit in the components or parts in the emergency light. Connect the main supply cable into ohm meter and check the resistance by switch on the circuit node to be connect with AC mains. Check for any open circuit visually or by ohm meter using testing for a short circuit. Analyze the status of the circuit by meters reading. If the emergency light is without short circuit fault, connect it to the supply mains and switch on. Check the symptoms of the unit and record the symptoms. If you find any issues, repair or replace the wiring is necessary. If the emergency light has a battery, use a multimeter to measure its voltage. Ensure the battery is fully charged and has a voltage within the specified range. If the battery is faulty or discharged, replace it with a new one. If the emergency light has a rechargeable battery, inspect the charging circuitry. Analyze the fault with the help of service flow sequence. Once you have repaired or replaced any faulty components, reassemble the emergency light. Connect it to the power source or insert the battery if applicable. Test the light to ensure it is working correctly. In this exercise, our third task is to test UPS and identify the faults and rectify. First of all, we have to read and interpret the nameplate details of the given UPS, type of UPS online or offline, model, power rating, change over time, battery rating, backup time. Switch on the UPS with UPS plugged in. Press and hold the on-off test silence button for more than 1 second until line normal LED green lights up. That is, UPS on and ready for use. If the green LED does not light up, the possible causes may be button not pressed or pressed too short, voltage of battery less than 10 volt, PCB failure, load may be less than 20 watt in battery mode. Identify the problem by self-testing UPS and rectify this fault by referring to the troubleshoot sequence block diagram. To switch off the UPS, press and hold the on-off test silence button for more than 3 seconds until the line normal or backup LED off. Check the condition of switch or backup LED, yellow LED, or press the switch for more than 3 seconds and rectify the problem if the UPS does not switch off. Press the on-off test silence switch more than 3 seconds to switch off the UPS and battery. Check the backup LED yellow. If the yellow LED backup lights off, the UPS and battery are in off position. If the back LED is not off, it indicates UPS is always in battery mode. The causes for this fault may be in the power cord, fuse or abnormal voltage. The causes for this fault may be in the power cord, fuse or abnormal voltage. Check the condition of the power cord, AC fuse, abnormal voltage and PCB. Rectify the problem by referring to the troubleshooting sequence block diagram. Press the on-off test silence button less than 1 second when AC mains supply is available. Observe the operation of UPS. If the UPS operates on load in battery mode, then the battery LED lights up. It indicates UPS is on line operation. If the UPS does not operate on load on battery mode and immediately returns online operation and lights up the red LED, it indicates the backup time is too short, the battery is to be replaced or to be recharged. Recharge the battery immediately for at least 4 hours. Check and test UPS with recharged battery and rectify the fault by referring troubleshooting sequence block diagram. If the replaced battery red LED is still on, replace the battery. Press the on-off test silence button for less than 1 second in backup mode. Observe the audible alarm, it should be silence. It does not function under low battery or overload conditions. Check the beeping alarm when pressing the silence button to stop the operation of UPS. If it is stopped in backup mode, it indicates UPS is in normal mode. But if the beep sound alarms continue, it indicates that UPS is overloaded. Press the button on or off during alarms to stop the beeping when the yellow LED backup lights up. Check for the maximum connected load to UPS and rectify this fault by disconnecting the excess until the beep alarm is not available. Task 4. Replacement of battery. Follow the instruction and procedure below for easy battery replacement. Unplug the unit from the AC power source and disconnect all connected equipment or load. Disconnect AC power cord from UPS unit. Turn the unit upside down and unscrew the 4 screws on top of the battery. Keep the screws in a safe place for reassembling. Turn the entire unit right side up by holding the top firmly. Lift top cover off and place to the side. The connection and electronics components will be exposed. Do not touch the inner components when changing the battery. Disconnect and remove the 2 leads, red and black, from the battery. You can remove the battery from the unit easily. Place the new battery in the same position or direction as the old one. Reconnect the leads, that is, red lead to positive position and black lead to negative position. Reconnect the equipment properly. Check the unit for its good condition and performance.
Recap. Let us just recap what you have learned so far. Analyze the defect of the voltage stabilizer. Repair and rectify the voltage stabilizer based on the defects. Identify the defects in emergency light. Rectify the defects by repairing the emergency light. Analyze the faults in the UPS. Rectify the faults by repairing the UPS. I hope you all understand how to test, analyze defects and repair voltage stabilizer, emergency light and UPS. Let us meet again in the next session. Thank you students and bye.